Jacobian here. Hope everyone's well. Today I'd like to go back and revisit Fruit of the Loom and share the tale of my first ever act of change witnessed after becoming awakened to the ME. It's an effect also witnessed by a handful of others in the community that I thought about covering in my case file number 2 video, but was already running long and didn't want to overwhelm viewers with too much information, especially with a far-fetched claim on top of an already far-fetched topic for most to accept. In the beginning of my Mandela Awakening, during the first couple of months, I was mostly a silent observer when it came to my online presence. I didn't really get involved with any comments, didn't participate in any Mandela groups or forums, but I certainly learned as much about it as I could. Seeing various theories about the ME changes happening during a sudden, singular event, along with theories that the changes happen gradually, only it's taken this long to finally notice. Either way, one of the big questions that kept coming up was wondering if new changes were still happening. Before becoming aware of the Ant Bully and South Park residue for Fruit of the Loom, the sole core piece of evidence I thought most compelling to show people was the Frank Wess album, back in January and February of 2018. Again, I was brand new to the ME, and in my social circle during those first couple of months, presented this album cover to anyone willing to listen. There's just one problem. At that time, this guy's name wasn't Frank Wess. His name originally was Frank Weiss. I shit you not, he used to be Frank Weiss, spelled Frankweiss. Plain as day in January and February. Then by March of that very same year, he had switched to Frank Wess, last name spelled Wess. For sure, some will say Weiss and Wess are almost identical. I just read it wrong. It's a simple mistake. What needs to be understood is, I wasn't looking at this thing haphazardly to make that kind of error. I was obsessing on it, studying it like the Torah as my best evidence at the time. The very image I downloaded, looked at, and utilized repeatedly had changed. Duplicate copies on my tablet and computer had changed. And it wasn't like someone hacked my devices and photoshopped them. All online sources were changed too. It's an obscure item, so to confirm the change from multiple sources, I looked to eBay, where some of the posts had the classic Mandelified trait of preserving the former spelling in the text, while official images had the new Mandelified spelling. I contacted the sellers, but their only response was to call it an error on their part. Guess they weren't fans enough to know for certain to be alarmed by it. For me, though, it was easily one of the most unsettling, but at the same time exciting things ever encountered. Because how many people truly would solidly even notice? Being such a far back obscure item, the change felt tailor-made for myself and the small band of other Mandela-affected people paying attention to this stuff. I didn't know if I should take it as a sinister taunt or a sign from above. Though I tend to have a positive outlook when it comes to these changes, when you're not used to having the reality rug pulled out from underneath you, negative ideas do cross your mind. You can't help thinking someone or something must be fucking with you. I'm very much aware of the capabilities of augmented and diminished reality, where things can be visually altered in real time. I wondered if hyper-advanced tech existed that could maybe rapidly update, replace, and erase any and all internet-connected imagery. I'm also someone who experiences the ear-ringing. I wondered if some shadowy organization or alien race could be beaming signals into our heads, altering thoughts and perceptions. I know that sounds crazy, but when everything happening is so beyond the norm, it eventually becomes a path to go down. Ultimately, though, if our minds can be that compromised, we might as well give up trying to figure anything out. Some may say the same of reality shifts, asking what's true anymore if everything can be so completely altered. I'd say what's true is the true nature of reality being revealed. You don't have to like it, but it is happening. I'd suggest not missing out on a deeper understanding. Much like playing a video game, don't stop playing just because a programmer is capable of making edits. Navigate the realm with his newfound knowledge, and enjoy the experience. Who knows what new levels and capabilities can be unlocked? As time has gone on, I've personally, for the most part, ruled out any negative causes. Whatever is causing this seems to me to be from a positive, more spiritual source. If you can overcome the knee-jerk reaction of being disturbed and offended by a reality paradigm being shook, It seems to have a childlike, made you look way of grabbing attention to slowly awaken you to what's possible. After calming down, I was grateful then to be able to take away from the Weiss-Wess change the answer to that big question. That yes, active new changes are still occurring. The spiritual entity was showing the way. As I've said before, I think it's most likely God or directly influenced by God. I'll be really pissed off if it ends up being a bunch of dorks on quantum computers.